Welcome. This is our first anniversary and a Women's Day special. We have invited Coach Geeta Ramakrishnan, a certified motivation and wellness coach, actually an ontological coach, an author of #1 Amazon bestseller book, The Game of Change. Welcome, Geeta.
Thank you so much, Mandeep, for this awesome introduction. And first of all, congratulations to WIP for completing 1 year. And I love this platform because it's a lot of sharing, and it's like a sisterhood platform where we can look upon each other and support each other. So congratulations, and wish you lots more.
Thank you so much. You've been there for us, and we talked to you. We actually interviewed you in July. I was just seeing in 2021. It's been a lot of months. How have you been meanwhile?
Oh wow. So in the meanwhile, I've become a grandmom and totally involved in with my grandson. And the best part is every time I'm interacting with him, he's like a new energy, right? He's so much into curiosity and learning, and that keeps me going, and I learn so much from him.
Actually, your book spoke about so much of the Zen steps of unleashing success, balance, and happiness. A lot of those Zen things are now happening to you as a mom, grandmom, I think.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm living in a Zen space right now.
Fabulous. So I have been following you on your blogs and social media, and I see that you have been doing a lot of work around 360-degree audits, goals, and procrastination. So today I'm going to ask you some of these things. My number one thing is that I too, like most people, write a set off at the beginning of the year, a kind of few resolutions. Some are practical, like exercising more, meditating more, and while others are a bit of a stretch, like writing that book that I hope to write. So I keep hoping that these promises that I make to myself will serve as my own personal roadmap, in the next 12 months. Now, research obviously shows that out of 52% of the people who make such things, mainly only 12% really manage to stick with it. So, in your experience, Geeta, I want to ask you that do you think it's really hard sticking to resolutions for people like me? And two, a question to just go with it, I'm sorry, is what are the two most common goals that people come to you with? When they talk to you as a life and wellness coach.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right in starting off saying that everybody makes goals for the new year, and come Feb, it's all like tapering down. It happens to me too. But having said that, when you have goal setting in mind, the important thing is to make baby steps. So make a goal something that's very easy and that is more likely that you're more likely to do and follow through. It could be like if instead of saying I want to reduce 10 kilos, I want to reduce 2 kilos in 1 year. That's, fabulous. It's definitely achievable. So that in itself motivates you to go through with the whole goal process. And also remembering that the progress is not linear. The curve it goes very flat and then suddenly goes up. So once you remember the whole science behind it, you can make it. Definitely for you is very achievable, Mandeep.
Yeah, I'm always getting distracted into doing some other things. And for that, as I told you, I think I may have to fly down to see you and then talk about this.
And then your second part about asking the goals is the first one, a most popular one, though it comes in different wordings and but it all boils down to time management, right? So what is time management? Once you have a little direction on prioritizing, because we all live in first out, because we want to be successful, we are focused, we are driven, and in that process we are overwhelming ourselves. And when we overwhelm our brain, it's much like a computer and it can go into breakdown. And the breakdown is not so apparent, it's again transparent to us.
Sure.
So it comes in the form of physical illnesses, mental illnesses, fatigue, and you cannot relate it back into all that overwhelm because we are so focused in I want to succeed, I want to do this, I want to do that. So time management is a great goal setting and worth spending a lot of time that I get it most often. And the second one, because I have more female clients, even male for that matter, would be I want to lose weight.
That's true.
Yeah, and I want to lose weight is on the top of this whole pyramid, which actually goes down. So that means it has a lot of things that what we do, and we do quite the opposite. Say, okay, I want to lose weight, but today I'll have the one cake, as if it's going to matter because it's not showing in your body today. While on the other hand, if you start focusing on yourself, all you need to give is like 3 or 4 hours in a week for some physical activity. It could be strength training, it could be some cardio, and focus on what we eat in our plate. Just small awareness can make a big difference.
That's true. I never thought, actually, why am I wondering that weight is one of the bigger issues that people are actually, and that is on top of everyone's agenda, and some stick to it and some don't. Now, you have been talking a lot about procrastination, and we know that people do tend to are afraid of failing on the task they need to complete, etc., etc. How do you, as a coach, explain this phenomena of procrastinating to your clients?
So when I procrastinate too, by the way. And sometimes it's actually fun to wait till that last moment and then rush, because it gives you that rush. It's like, some people like to do bungee jumping and things like that. It gives you a rush. But what happens is when you live in that rush 24/7, it's living in stress 24/7. Again, it affects your physical, mental wellness, and your maybe first few times you give in your best because that rush also brings out your best, but then over time it declines. It definitely brings in fatigue and you won't be able to be your productive best, let's say. So I think that's one thing I would say about procrastination is not about being lazy, but it's like you said, it's about the fear about what if we don't succeed, what if it's not the best. And this happens because we are always validating ourselves against others' standards. So we don't give ourselves that that self-worth, that yes, I can do it on my standards, this is my best, and then next time I'll do better than that. So once I start realigning my thought process, like what other things will matter in terms of, okay, I can take a great feedback, but it won't pull me down. Once I start translating into that thought processes, procrastination will slowly disappear.
I just wanted to, for our members, clarify this because a lot of time people say that there are some people who spend so much time procrastinating that they are unable to complete their important daily tasks. And so they have a strong desire to stop, doing this because they just don't know. So is this bordering somewhere on a, because I know procrastination is not a mental illness, but when it comes to it, it affects their daily tasks. What do you tell them? I mean, do they see a therapist or do they come to a wellness coach?
See, once they have to understand the relationship between how you feel, like what we call as lifestyle diseases, which could be niggling headaches, unable to sleep well, sound sleep is missing, or it could be hypertension, diabetes, or even cardiac issues. They are all lifestyle issues because each and every cell of your body is inflamed, and suppose your liver, pancreas, and these are inflamed, that's how you get diabetes and so on and so forth. And this inflammation is due to stress, when you're in stress 24/7. So when you step back, so when you are procrastinating, putting things to the last moment, getting overwhelmed, that's also stress. So once you understand the process of procrastination, what you can do is cut your job into small pieces. Right, suppose you are a writer and you have a big article due next week. You don't work like on Sunday if it's due on Monday, right? You take 2 hour chunks during the day, you put it down. So for me, I'm a great planner now, so I put it down in my to-do list, I assign a day and a time. so that I am clear when, say, every say Wednesday 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I have to work on some, research based, and then the next day 2 hours I'll write it down. So I'm done. I'm not thinking about it every day. Oh, am I going to do it? Will I going to do it? I have a time slotted to it, and I'll focus only on that time. That really helps clear that overwhelm and that fear, and knowing that if you fail, it's fine. You can use it as a learning process. That's very important, that people are afraid to try out.
That realization, you must be right, Geeta, is a difficult one for most people. And what you said about being stressed 24/7, I think in recent past, we've seen that even people who work out, who do lots of things, even at younger age, are suffering from issues and cardiac issues, and sometimes which are really fatal as well. So it's scary, isn't it? Have you found clients who are younger who come to you with these issues as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And it really worries me because they are in their 30s and 40s, and they have heart issues, which I feel so sad about, because it's not, it's the thing is, we are all slaves of habit and they don't know what to do about it. And at least I have the good fortune to be trained, and then all I do is show them a mirror and say, see here. And then it's that once you know, right?
That's true.
And yeah, everybody needs that.
So I know one of your last few blogs that I read, you suggested a self audit at the beginning of the year. I know you were talking a lot about it. Can you take us through an overview of this concept?
Yeah, so self audit is like, it helps you understand, because what happens is, like, we all want to have a great body, we want to look good, we want to be successful, we want to be, at least I want to be an amazing mom and a grandmom now. So we want to be our best in all these different roles in our life. We want a beautiful house, we want everything. While we want, where are we right now? you know when we go in and day out, we don't take that pause to understand where we are right now. So a self audit is like a 360 audit, which works in most companies and corporates. We spend a lot of time there, but we are not doing it to ourselves, right? So it makes a pause and give it a few hours, like even one day in a year, to think, what do you want for yourself? So I've asked this question to especially women, and then, what do I want for myself? That's, they're blank. And I feel it's very important. What do you want for yourself as a person, as a woman? And then you write, where are you right now and where do you want to be? Then it's that stark difference that you start seeing. It's for your physical health, for your mental health. Where do you want to be emotionally? Are you articulating all your emotions? Are you suppressing everything, saying, I'm strong, and it's eating you from inside sometimes? Where do you want to be professionally, socially? You know, once you go over this whole process of 360 audit, self audit, then you realize that these are the opportunities available. This is where I can, like, refocus my time. So it really helps out, probably like a wake up call sometimes.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that, that it's actually quite similar to identifying and mitigating the risks that we do it in normal businesses, that, which are those ones when you do the audit. And but you have also provided a toolkit in your website or something about
Yeah.
how to go about
Yeah.
it,
So
right?
I made it very simple for people to, now, knowing all this, while I talk, it might make sense, but then how do you actually get down to doing it?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So I have made a very simple, like, I put down like different roles that you can play. Where do you want to focus, and give some, like, given percentage, how much time you're actually giving to that, and where do you want to be. So then it's very easy to move that pointer to, now what do you want. And many times we are spending, more than 50% of our time doing what we, it's not really useful or valuable to you. So it's a great time to say, okay, this is enough and let me do this.
Like you said little before, it also baffles me when I see that specifically when it comes to women friends, that they struggle to seek help or understand which part of their life do they need to work on, or they put everyone in their life ahead of them, right? It could be family, it could be work, it could be children and things like that. And that little bit which requires help, it could be, simple help like, I could take a doctor's advice, I need a second opinion on this. And forget even seeking a coach or a therapist is really, really far out there. But this first step of seeking help, what holds them back? I mean, in your opinion is this thing? It always baffles me. What's an answer to?
Yeah. So I want to speak about this very interesting conversation I had with one of our staff in our office. And she told me I have to be seen busy because she was not so busy, but she would just take a paper and be writing something just like that. So I said, why do you want to be seen as busy? Because she feels that the perception is if you're not busy, people will think you're just, they're wasting time or not efficient. And so people think being busy is equal to being efficient, whereas it's actually the other way around. And most of whomever at least I have asked say that their focus is maximum on the profession to succeed, to provide for the family, or to have bread on the table, whatever it is. So it's profession, family, and then if they have any time, it's for themselves. So they say it's proficient first because it obviously brings bread on their table. So they want to be successful, and then they go back to their family. And if they have any time, it's themselves, especially women. Even at home, when we are back, we work as much as our partners. We come home, we automatically are hardwired to ask, okay, do you want coffee? Can I make coffee for you or tea for you? Right? Whereas it's perfectly all right, the other person can make, or you can order coffee from out, whatever, right? So once what you do is rearrange this priority by focusing on yourself first. What are your needs? What makes you stronger? Are you taking care of your physical health? Just like we need to eat every day, all you have to do is exercise every day. You have to make it a part of your routine. So you're spending those few 1 2 hours extra. Maybe take 2 minutes to breathe out in, because we are so stressed from morning, we are doing like back to back, right? Take a few seconds every say 2 3 hours to just breathe, just stay, look out of the window. These things are working on our brains to make it from stress to reduce stress, and then the calmness increases. And it takes a few seconds. The moment you are calm, what happens is the creative part of your brain is opening up. Like even talk a little slowly, because when you're talking to others, you notice your volume goes up and you become fast. So just slow down every once in a while. It makes you a more grounded, stronger person. And then you're able to give your best to your family. So you're not irritated when you're handling family matters, you're speaking to your children who are annoying sometimes. And then you take that presence of you to the office. You're obviously it's going to succeed. So it's like a growth mindset where you are open. You start becoming open to ideas. You start hearing others out. So you're slowly going on that growth mindset where you are taking the responsibility first, rather than blaming others, saying that this is not okay. My co-workers are not as efficient as me. That really doesn't translate into anything useful at the end of the day.
Very well said. And I think either I think some of us learned the hard way as well. And as the generations evolved, the social construct was different, feeling guilty about putting everyone's need. But taking the family into confidence before taking your teams at work into confidence and sharing with them that, listen, this is important to me. So if it's okay with you, I'll be taking this time to be on my own or go and, go to the spa, get a massage, or just meditate for hours. I mean, I think they all want a cool mom or somebody who's relaxed and not really getting on everyone's nerve or snapping. So I think these defining these boundaries, if it starts coming naturally to you above a point, I think this growth mindset very nicely actually translates into that and seamlessly actually. And then people at work also say that, look at her. She's now commanding that. So I think a lot more awareness has happened all around. It's just a matter of saying it and putting it into place. And I think it gets, Culturally, some organizations are still far behind. They may not listen to it, but we can always try that.
Yeah, at least we as women can put ourselves out there and not wait for the organization to work for us,
Yeah.
right? And it's also the small wins that we have, whatever success that we have, it need not be great. Even the small ones, we need to pat on our back ourselves. Give us that, okay, I'm good, I'm worth it. We need to tell this to ourselves more often than not.
Yes, I know it. Very well said. Thank you so much. So when you tell people that they need to, live a wholesome life, and when we talk about to live harmoniously, we need to kind of be able to process our experiences properly. You always tell that it's like food going in your body. How do you process your experiences? And a lot of people don't think that that's important. वो तो सब कर लेते हैं, that kind of a thing. And they come to you and they say that how can I live a wholesome life? What do you say to them? And what would you tell our members what to do?
Yeah, so, well, sometimes none of what we say is easy because you need to practice, practice, practice to get there. However, the formula is look at the past. Take some time off, look at your past, and learn from the mistakes. And whatever works, take it with you. What doesn't work, just try and be curious and examine why it didn't work. There's no blaming, there's no judging. And then you take all your learning, and the best thing is to be in the present, which is easier said than done. But how you can be in the present is not worrying about the future. See, let's say there is a 50% probability of things going right, as much as 50% it not going right. It's a probability theory. So why not focus on the best 50%? Okay, it can happen. And the worst thing is if it doesn't happen, I still got it. That attitude really helps. It boosts your confidence, your ability to just be yourself no matter what. Because and then you will have a lovely family, you'll have friends, because that's something, the more you give, you will get that support. And your platforms, like your platform is an amazing way of supporting. And when for example, if I'm hearing others who have undergone the same difficulties that maybe I'm undergoing, I say, okay, I'm not alone. I feel good about it, and I can learn something out of it. That really helps.
Yeah, and I think for me, what it has done is that sometimes some of us may live in some different bubbles, and you may understand that people of different generations and different professions, and they come out and share a perspective which is, oh my God, I mean, I never thought of it, and it's a learning. That's why every day. So I know that everywhere. People who are wellness coaches are talking about healthy diets and exercising, reducing salt or sugar, and not smoking or being active, and blood pressures, sugars, everything else, and getting tested. But I was going through this Anthony Hopkins saying, which I loved it, which I have to read it out to you because I think he just summed it up, that none of us are getting out of here alive. So please stop treating yourself like an afterthought. Eat delicious food, walk in the sunshine, jump in the ocean, say the truth that you are carrying in your heart like hidden treasure. Be silly, be kind, be weird. There's no time for anything else. I think this kind of summed it up, which we usually tell people that having that hearty laugh and doing the things that you always want to, so that you don't have a heavy heart, is so, so important. And getting out there before managing it. And I think as coaches, me more executive and leadership, and you more wellness and life, uh, I think we can only stress as much as we can, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's an amazing summation. It's like, and many people forget to laugh. I mean, their faces, and they don't realize that their faces are so stressed. And all you have to do is laugh, like how we do more often, right?
Once a friend of mine asked, "What did you guys talk about?" I said, "Actually, I had a great meal with her in a house, and we just laughed." I couldn't sum up anything more because that's what we end up doing when we meet. So I think that's how people need to have friendships, as you said, that which whenever you meet, you can connect from where you left off.
Absolutely, yeah.
We thought. Anyway, Geeta, we hope to, keep taking these wise ones from you every time now and then. Thank you so much for guiding us in the WiP and being part of our journey. And thank you very much for sparing time today to talk to us.
Oh, it has been such an absolute pleasure as always.
Thanks. Bye bye.